I'm man, that was a big conversation. It was like there was a moment where but it happened very early for me. I was
Same.
like, there's nothing really here. It's like I feel sad like right now actually. I feel sad more than anything. Like I feel there's a part of me that feels almost guilty as well. Um
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if guilt's the right word, but I feel compassion.
I
Like
know what
why
you
am I
mean. No, I know what you mean. I don't feel that right now, but I have when I've interacted with other people. It's like I've entered into these spaces enough times now with those sorts of people. It happened with Mariam. Mariam was like my last. Now it's
yeah.
just sort of like I was just sat in. I was just completely. It was like I was looking at him. He was just a human being suffering, but I wasn't like thinking, "Oh God, this is." I wasn't like, "Oh." I was just like, "Oh, I'm
It's
fucking doing all right
crazy,
here."
man. Like this guy's, he fucking hell, man. He claims self-realization, end of suffering. He's a teacher on Quora, and he's done calls with Frank Yang and all of these big people in the space. So it's like, how does this guy have credibility for being a teacher on this kind of stuff? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so for me, I'm all about like putting vision on the charlatans, the people that are just deceiving people, like Mariam, for example. If you're being a fucking liar and you clearly have some kind of narcissistic traits, those get to be seen as well.
Yeah.
They do get to be seen, and you will not see that anywhere on the internet because no one has pressed him like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is why this is important to me.
It's funny because when I was thinking about setting up a channel back a bit ago, it was like that was the angle that I was gonna take. But I thought, I don't want to be that guy that's just fucking shitting all over everybody that's a charlatan in the community. But it's like it is important, do you know what I mean? And it's like it just goes to show though it's also good for me before I enter into the world of spirituality, for me to
Oh
just be
my
plummeted into
god.
this side of it.
Bro, absolutely. Because you get to see all the different pieces. Who are the teachers that are in this space? Who are the people that people look up to? And what is beneath the image that they've created?
Yeah.
This is so important, man.
I don't know about you guys, but the last few minutes, he kind of won me over a little bit. I could start to see where he's coming from and his stories. I think they're genuine. I don't think he's lying. The first couple minutes was like very uncomfortable, awkward, and cringe. But the
Yeah, he
last,
won me over, but in a way similar to Mariam, where it's like he's had a spiritual experience, but he's got caught. It's what Thor said. That was literally it. It's the same as Mariam. It's not a coincidence that these people in the spiritual community are coming into our lives at this point. This is what Sadhguru talks about and what all the sages talk about. It's like he's had a awakening and it's not been stable enough. He's probably addicted to shit. He's probably been in all these spaces with like breath work instructors or like taking ayahuasca ceremonies. And it's the same shit. It's like he's raised the energy, but he wasn't ready to peek through the veil yet. And now he's got stuck in between these two worlds. And it's a
Yeah.
damage to himself and to everyone around him. Look at him vaping and all the drinking Coca-Cola. Like, look, bro, I'm fucking I don't do any of that shit. I had a fucking little bit of sugar just before, and I was like, no, none of that for another fucking month.
Yeah. 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 It's like living a lie, It's like they've created, and he's over identified as enlightened. So that's his like defense mechanism. It's like, no, you can't touch me because I'm enlightened. It's what narcissists do.
Yeah.
It's like this protective mechanism. Mariam does the same thing. They're covering a big wound. All of them.
That laugh, like that. Look, it's the same laugh that Miriam was doing. There was no real, authentic energy behind it. It was just you're getting to somewhere, or there's a truth there that you're talking, and you just laugh over it. This like Joker. It's the Joker. That's literally what's going on. It's like a guy that's wounded. It's the same as Miriam, but it's the thing is like because I'm more perceptive now, and I've been doing the semen retention and not been on medication. Like it's just so clear, but it's so easy to manipulate because they're so certain in what they say.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I think he's highly spiritual. The first 30 minutes, I thought it was an absolute joke. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's suffering so badly. And then the last 10, 15 minutes, it was like, okay, I can start to see why this, and he's probably self-realized. I mean, definitely, for sure he is. and he's doing something. He's
No, he's
dissolving.
not. He's not realized. He's not self-realized shit. Neither is Miriam.
Are
He's
you sure about
stuck.
that?
I'm telling you now. There's no realization. There's been a
What?
realization of fucking hell. They've probably taken some drugs. Yeah. They've lost the marbles a little bit. And yeah, there's some wisdom in there because that's the shit. You're supposed to lose your mind. That's the idea. But no fucking. I'm sick of this shit. Self-realized and fucking enlightened and all this shit. They're not fucking anything. They've lost human beings. That you might as well be a fucking working in Tesco. You're more spiritual doing that because that damage now is like it's done. You can't reverse it.
I talking to you guys makes me less trust my own intuition and perception now because I don't know what the hell to believe or what's true. I'm seeing this guy and you're saying the complete opposite. Now the Mariam is like, I can't ever go back to, am I gonna just trust myself or?
Maybe he's the next Miriam. Maybe you got to run a little course with him and.
Bro, Mariam plus him in a call together yeah, that's the next cult.
Maybe you set up like they're coaching each other. All right, Miriam, we just have a coaching call with this guy. It's like, you know, those prank calls when you prank call like a restaurant or whatever, like a pizza shop, and then you prank call another like Indian restaurant or whatnot. You get them to talk.
It's just, you know what's super interesting about this as well? Have you noticed that him and Miriam have both got the same traits? Lack of compassion, overinflated ego, large claims. It's the same situation. But that's, you know what that is? I don't want to say it too much. That's literally that's what a psychopath has.
We don't know if that's the label. We don't know.
I'm not saying that that's definitely what it is, but that's those traits there of having no compassion for human beings. But it's like, but there's also like, there's something spiritual about these people that have got these sorts of things. You know what I mean?
I think I'm falling for. I think I don't know. I just like him now more. I think there's something to it. Same with Mary.
You know what? You know why, Leo? Sorry, go ahead, Leo. I was gonna say, do you know why she? What were you gonna say?
No, go ahead. I don't know.
Can't even remember what I was gonna say now.
What it is, Shiva? You know what? My thing that I had a realization of today about you.
Yeah. Oh God. Here it goes.
You're recording this?
Of course. Yeah, there's gonna be some truth, and I'm not gonna like it.
The reason why these characters are coming into our field, into your field specifically right now, and it's happening like this, and when I tune into you as a human being, I think you've had a similar experience to what Miriam and this guy has had. So there's been a loss of faculties through too much intense energy, and you're resonating and seeing something in it because that's something that's inside you right now. But you've just not lost your marbles the same way that they have. It's not gone too far yet. You've got some people around you that are pulling you in the other direction, and you're able to accept it.
I have to disagree strongly. I have to. Let me make a claim.
Of course, yes, dude. That's exactly what Artem would do.
Okay, look. I'm listening to this guy, okay, and then now this is the point, okay? When I look into it, I look in his energy body, and he's saying, "Oh, I don't feel compassion, I don't feel thoughts." And he said that if the Buddha came and somebody spat in it, like said angry words at him, the Buddha wouldn't feel anything. So I see he's dissolving even the things that kind of, he's dissolving that too. That's respectable. That's what you want. So, yeah.
It's not what you want.
Yes.
When Sadhguru sits in front of the people, he literally cries and says, there's one moment I've got in my mind that literally I could cry just thinking about it. And I could feel him when he did it. He stood in front of all his volunteers at Isha Yoga Center with tears dripping down his face and said, I took this birth for you. I love you. I'm only here for you.
Oh my God, my heart feels so much emotion. It's hard to feel, and that's why I'm like this. It's so confusing. Like, what the hell is going on? What do I need to believe? I'll make a stance. This is a very simple stance. The Sadhguru is for sure way more enlightened than this guy. It's not even a comparison. But that's like the delusion that he has. But I don't think he's nothing. Like, he's definitely something. He's definitely, whoa, like, okay, respect. You know? Like, he could be a teacher, a spiritual teacher. He is. So I don't think, because kind of disagree with Leo that he shouldn't be deplatformed or he's competent.
No,
I think he
shouldn't be
he knows a lot on a mental level, but he's still suffering. Like I said, it's not embodied. Okay, so like, are we just gonna take textbook definitions without substance? That's what it feels like. Textbook definition without substance.
Yeah, he should close the practice today.
It's dangerous,
Very
truthfully.
much so.
Wow, that's amazing. What? Okay, I gotta be a little bit more balanced because whatever I believe and what other people are telling me is the contradictory. It's usually time to reflect. And people have been telling me a lot of contradictory things about Miriam, so I'm time to reflect. I reflected, and yeah, okay, I'm taking a break. Same thing with this man. I'm getting sucked into this, like, oh, something.
It's a new shiny object.
I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah. But I've always liked people that kind of have this intense ability to influence people, almost to the point of, well, there's degrees. But I was always attracted to that because I know I'm in a way safe, and the friends that were with me around that time, I know they didn't feel safe around these types of very psychopathic people and whatever. That's like my playing area. I like that, and it feeds me. I just like it a lot, but yeah, maybe it's not the healthiest thing.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I remember Sadhguru saying, like, when he goes to spiritual communities and like people who are doing most spiritual teachers, he just tries shutting them down.
Sadhguru does that.
Yeah, he says he goes to lots of yoga studios who are practicing spirituality wrong, or just like spiritual teachers in the West, and literally he just tries to convince them to stop.
Really? He said that? I never heard
Yeah.
that.
He said that.
Is that when he said that he met like 50 gurus in the United States and
No, he's talking about, like, he was talking about yoga studios. He's just talking about the shit show of spirituality in the West. When I went to see him live, he talked about this quite intensely as well. The first time I saw him, he was talking about the spiritual community of the West and how much damage it's doing to the world, and how it's like turning people off from spirituality, and it's like creating like real problems from people's journey.
But this is all real stuff, man. We need to put vision on this, truthfully. It's like there was a time when I was taking plant medicines and I was seeing how many people getting stuck in psychosis, or how many people going to Joe Dispenza retreats thinking they were going to get this huge awakening or whatnot, or this miracle healing, and then they come out even worse. These charlatans need to be exposed, truthfully.
You think he's a charlatan?
I think so.
Yeah, he's not a charlatan because he's deluded, but he is a charlatan in the name of the word, in like he's manipulating and leading people astray. But he's doing
saying
it.
He's 98 or 99% enlightened. That was his claim, and he's more enlightened than Sadhguru.
Okay, then this is what we should do. Okay,
and he's Buddha.
Yeah,
he's Buddha smoking his vape.
To put light onto this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna ask him for another interview in the next couple of days, and we're gonna see what he teaches. If there's harmful things, or we need to get more, we need to extract more.
We don't get it though, Shiva. It's not about that. Like, Mariam teaches good things, so does he. They can teach good things. It doesn't matter about that. It's like you can teach good things, 70% good things, and have some wisdom. But if 30% of it is fucking stabbing you in the asshole, then you don't want to. You need to avoid it, because that's how they hook you in. That's how psychopaths, narcissists, all these people hook you in, by speaking wisdom, having things that they don't just. People don't just drink Kool-Aid and fucking do this shit for no reason. They do it because they're enthusiastic, they're manipulative, and they've got some facts.
Look, Charles Manson, he was like that, but he also did actions that really hurt people. I don't see any actions that are doing this with Miriam or even this guy, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's saying something that's hurting people. I haven't seen that.
They don't have any power yet, because what happens is narcissists. What happens is, just one second. What happens with like Miriam, for example, she got into the real world. This is what happens with narcissists and psychopaths. They can't maintain relationships. They can't maintain a structure, because what they do is they build in the real world, and then it gets destroyed because the truth comes out, and then everyone leaves, and then they never able to. Luckily, it's set up in a way where most psychopaths and narcissists are never able to sustain their vision. So he gets 300, 400 views on his fucking YouTube channel. Do you know what I mean? He's a baby. in the terms of spirituality. So he's not got enough power. He probably has manipulated and fucked up loads of people, but just not on a big enough scale for it to be an issue right now.
But
I mean, think about Bentino, what he was doing at his retreat,
yeah,
and like some people that ended their lives and whatnot. But that's because he reached a certain level of fame. He had over 100K subscribers. People were paying him a lot of money. So look, again, if this guy blew up, what would he be doing behind the scenes? That's the thing. If a person like that becomes powerful, I think that's a dangerous thing.
interesting. Wow. I'm very fortunate in a way that I only have 5,000 subscribers right now because I'm building this slowly and it's giving me invaluable reflections and lessons like this.
Yeah, you're very lucky to have.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons as to why I wanted to come on the show. I wanted to just slap some truth into you.
Same. That's literally our conversations that we had were about this exact topic. This was the exact shit. The first few videos that I talked about was where this is going to lead to, the damages, the charlatans, all this sort of shit. Because that's just what I've been studying for the past 6 years. Is this shit?
At least Shiva's open to it. That's what makes
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
I can now see the energy. What you're talking about, the psychopathic energy. It's a kind of energy, and it's very influential, and vulnerable people fall for it, or vulnerable people follow it. In Bentino's case, I mean, Bentino is also quite wise, but this thing happened. It's very sad. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to conclude. I'm still confused.
You see, the funny thing is about this is how crazy we are, and how much we'll believe anything. Like Thor said it perfectly on that live video that you had. He was like, "Look, like anybody that any sound thinking person, when someone comes across saying that they're the second coming of Christ, you're just like, all right, yeah." So, but Miriam's come along. She's the second coming of Christ. This Bentino guy has literally wrote a written statement. His team has wrote a written statement saying that this is insane. That's just that's just two things that have happened, yeah. But still, you was going along with it. That's how easily we're hoodwinked and swept up under someone's guise of because they speak with conviction. Like any normal, sound thinking person, as he said, he just looks at this and goes, "What a load of nonsense."
Interesting.
But because we're spiritual minded and we try and I just got swept up in it because I didn't even really get swept up in it. I just was like, okay, Leo knows what he's talking about a little bit. Though he's got a business and stuff, and he must know something. He's been with him in person, so I was like, all right, let me just. And it was part of my process. Now it's just like I will never let this happen to me ever again.
That's cute.
I still want to have a lens of curiosity before judging people. Like someone can come along, say the second coming of Christ, whatever. I don't care, but I want to listen to the energy. I want to feel what's actually behind them. So I'm not gonna just shut people down immediately. Like I still want to hold this curiosity in the world. I don't want to let go of that.
100%. You got to be curious, but there's also you got to be sane and grounded.
Yeah. It's just discernment. Like what we're learning is the highest level of discernment.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting. Okay.
But I feel like this wasn't very hard to discern, so go ahead, Shiva.
Yeah, no, I don't really know what else to say.
Yeah, I feel like it's funny that like this has been the test of discernment though. Like the second that Bentino's team, or just the fact that just before Bentino's team even responded to Miriam, just the fact that this person who's never spoken to her before and she's communicating through an energetic field and all this sort of stuff, like they should have just been like, okay, like maybe this doesn't add up. Do you know what I mean? This is like this cult leader guy that people have killed themselves, like slept with loads of different people. Like she's never met him before. He's just like a public figure. Like all this is just sort of,
So
you know.
the thing is with Mariam, she had some very like real teachings about self-realization and awakening that are very tangible. So I believe she had an authentic awakening experience. But like you said, along the way, there's something, the ego got entangled in something. It's like it's stuck, like you'd mentioned earlier. So it takes very high level discernment to be able to see, beneath the BS or see through the BS when someone has actually had an authentic awakening experience. That's what
Yeah,
I
like,
think, at least.
it's true. And also, you met her when she'd had just the realization, I guess. So she wasn't claiming second coming when you first met her, or was she?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So and you've met her in person and stuff, and so yeah, it does make it much harder. I do get that. Yeah.
Anyways, I'm grateful for this. I think it's all unfolding the way it's meant to. I mean, the next person is going to be Guruji Josiah. They're all coming into the mix.
You guys should be there when we do this. Yeah, you guys are discerning, something that I don't have apparently or lack. And yep, we gotta get him on, talk to him, see what's up.
What does he think? Has he got claims?
So him and Artem had a huge clash on a video, and so that's who he was talking about in the beginning. He also called himself Guruji, like the guru of gurus, of the guru creator. So Artem had a problem with that, and yeah.
I think I saw the video, but he seemed like he was all right though.
Yeah,
He didn't seem like he was making any bold claims of being like enlightened and shit.
No, he's a genuine guy, it appears. So we'll get him on the show, see what's up. All right, my friends, take it easy.